Just very quickly move on to media matters. And I wanted to highlight this article that was in the Daily Mail today. The headline was Fugitive Drug Lord Who Stole Cartel's £450, that's £450 in weight, of cocaine shipment is tossed alive into ocean with an anchor tied to his waist. What the Daily Mail did here was to publish a snuff film. And this, as far as I'm concerned, absolutely crossed the line, Alex, and I'm interested in your thoughts. They showed some footage recorded on a mobile phone of a criminal, yes, a member of the drugs cartel who had an anchor tied around his waist and he was bailed into the ocean. Now, you saw him being pushed overboard. You didn't see him enter the water, but you did see him sink as he sank away under the water. It was pretty hard video to watch and absolutely not appropriate. In the meantime, we've got online safety bill, Alex, which is telling us how terrible we all are in the use of our social media when we've got this type of thing being published in the mainstream media. I don't know what to say about it.
I'm equally concerned by Adri Torres's copy in writing this copy. I think it's to him that the complaints, or her, I don't know whether it's a female name, should be made as much as to the Daily Mail, because the rubric is full of these nod, wink, wink, Fleet Streetisms, like what a silly boy to think he could cover up his ruse, and he met a watery demise. Clearly, it's making light of what the gang did to him. Now, I understand that the heist he was involved in, which he was punished for by his own fellow plotters, drug gang members, involved the British Virgin Islands. So there is potentially a British legal end to this. And I'm not aware that any Venezuelan drug cartels are proscribed by the Home Secretary. But the Daily Mail could be skating on thin ice there legally, going back to, I think it's Section 12 of the Terrorism Act 2000, which makes it a criminal offence to elicit support for a proscribed organization. Many people who've been involved in ethnic terrorist organizations or freedom fighters to some in Britain have found themselves on the wrong end of the law for that section, for putting up photographs of people doing their criminal or terrorist, according to people's opinions, activities. I don't see how this is morally any different. Whether it's legally any different may have to be taken to case law.
Yes. Okay. In the meantime, EU and the Digital Services Act.
A quick enlightener of what can be done on Twitter. Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, decided last week, or got her staff to do it, to announce we're bringing our European values into the digital world. This was on the day, as I reported last week, that the Digital Services Act became EU law. Requiring self-censorship on large platforms. And you know that on Twitter now, it was invented, this feature, so that people could get more woke about a tweet. They have this readers added context section. So people with the volume of context they've added have forced this through onto Twitter, pointing out to von der Leyen and the Commission that actually this act is probably in direct conflict with Article 11 of the EU's own Constitution, the Charter of Fundamental Rights on freedom of expression, and also that speech can be removed in an instant by the giants, the 19 very large platforms, under this act, but it could take them years to be reinstated. But the EU's woes don't end there this week, because Christina Anderson, member of the European Parliament for Alternative for Deutschland, has found out from figures given to her that the European Commission, that's von der Leyen and her colleagues, spent €2.75 million on photographers and makeup artists for their media appearances.
Brilliant. Okay, and Debbie, let's just finish with Stand in the Park.
Oh, yes, I'm doing a call to action for Stand in the Park, because I think some of the Stand in the Parks, not as many people are turning up as did at the beginning. And I went to Truro last Sunday for Stand in the Park at Boscawen Park, and we had a great time. Honestly, thank you so much to Julie and the rest of the group. There's some photos. We really did have a good time, and I'm going to be going again on Sunday at 10 o'clock at Boscawen Park in Truro. But you know, it's an amazing resource, and with all these cyber outages, and as we're talking, there's a hurricane making landfall in Florida. You need to have local knowledge, local people. So please, everybody, and if anybody's in Cornwall and wants to join us in Truro on Sunday, we'd be delighted to see you.
Okay, thank you, Debbie. And Alex, let's just finish with a final slide then.
There's always fun when a meme takes the form of a watercolor with a modern caption to it. And this one is the well-known painting of a woman who's devastated by news that's reached her, and her young daughter is having to tug on her arm and say, "Mummy, there's still reasons to live." But the caption that's been given to it this time is "Electricity bill, oil on canvas."
Yes, very good. Okay, thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, Debbie and Alex. We'll be back in a few minutes if you're a UK Column member for some extra. But otherwise, we'll see you on Friday as usual at 1 p.m. I hope to see you then, and have a good day tomorrow watching the interview with Clive de Carl. See you then. Bye-bye.